The current state of car buying in the Philippines is as follows. If you're looking for an entry-level car, those small hatchbacks are for you. But if you want something bigger for the family, you've got your crossover SUVs. But sedan car buyers are in quite of a pickle because all of the rosters right now are either too expensive or too boring. Well, MG Philippines has got something to say about that. What's going on, guys? Roy Robles here for Zigwheels.Ph, and today we've got a banger of a sporty sedan for you. It's the MG GT Sport. Right off the bat, the first thing that you would notice on this MG GT Sport is the color. Now, MG Philippines isn't afraid to go crazy with their color schemes, and this one is of no exception. You've got this huge grille right up front here. MG calls this a 3D flame design. You got these functional scoops or air vents right here on each side of the lower grille. You got full LED headlamps here. You don't have any fog lamps, but that's because MG, or SAIC, in this case SAIC Light Technology, is proud with their lighting technology where you don't actually need fog lamps in this particular case. Overall, it is a nice clean shape with a little bit of details here that might be questionable, but it works pretty well and it does its job with grabbing everyone's attention as you run across the road. Now, heading over to the side profile of the MG GT, there are a couple of things here that you might find familiar. First of all, those 17-inch alloy wheels has that same tomahawk design that we found on the MG ZST. You've got 215/50 R17 Michelin tires right there, and I appreciate some other brands using a little bit more fancier tires in this case, and it really grips really hard on the road. I love how this line moves all the way from the front and all the way to the back here, and then gives you this nice fastback looking design. It's pretty clean. Now, the MG GT is certainly one fast compact sedan, and I'm going to show you that later on. Now, the rear section of the MG GT is definitely proof of that because the design of the back is really so extroverted that it seems like it wants to give a lot of cars on the road quite a show, especially those cars that they're going to leave behind. You got these nice LED tail lamps wrapped all around. They look kind of smoked, and they kind of remind you a lot of those sportier European compact sedans out there. Another European inspiration, unfortunately, that you have here are those fake exhaust tips. It does have dual port exhaust, don't get this thing wrong, right underneath that trim, but it kind of ruins it a lot for a lot of people with those chrome inserts. All right, let's open up the trunk and see what's inside. You can see all my crap that's inside there. And yes, you got 401 liters of space here. Easy enough for you to put all your items inside. Everything fits nicely here, and you've got a donut-sized spare tire underneath. If you need even more space, you can actually fold those rear sheets down. They don't fold 60/40, but if you have longer items, that's fine. You can just fold those seats down and put in your boogie board inside. No worries. All right, let's take a look at the interior and see how the interior amenities of the MG GT matches this really extroverted looking exterior. All right, so inside the MG GT Sport, it definitely has all these nice sculpted materials on the dashboard. The entire center console is pointed towards the direction of the driver, making it a little bit easier for people to, or for drivers to control the system. Unfortunately, you got these buttons down here that they kind of share the same buttons with the volume knob and with the HVAC controls or the AC controls. They share that single bar right there. You'll have to click on those individual buttons to get to where you need to be. So anyway, back to the dashboard. Even though it does have a piano black design, it doesn't seem to be taking in a lot of fingerprints here, which is nice. I appreciate that. You also have these nice diamond pattern design as well on the aircon vents. The AC vents, though, are, especially the one in the middle, it seems to be situated a little lower than I wanted to, so it's blowing the air towards my torso instead of straight to my face where I want to. Doesn't sound really good. Back to the 10-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It is nice. It has a good touch sensitivity as well as a good refresh rate too. It also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Thank goodness. It's not the wireless kind, but at least once you have it paired up to your phone, just plug your phone right there onto the USB port on the left right here, and you'll be able to activate Android Auto, no problems. The steering wheel is nice. It's chunky, as just how I want it to be. And it's nicely weighted too. So you got your paddle shifters in the back. They're made of plastic and not magnesium or aluminum, but it does the trick. If you blink, you might miss the cruise control stalk right here as well. It doesn't have adaptive cruise control, but that's perfectly fine, especially for a car like this and in its price point, so that's okay. So you got 12-volt socket right here as another USB port. It doesn't have a wireless charging though, but at least you have some sort of space for you to put all your knickknacks in. This shifter, this is also interesting. It's kind of raised high up. It's simple, intuitive, and easy to read, especially at night. You got your electronic parking brake and your automatic brake hold. The overall feel of the cockpit has this fighter jet feel to it, where the seats actually hug you real nice. The seats are nicely bolstered, definitely keeps me in place, and it's not that hard, it's not too soft either. They're very supportive, I gotta say. So anyway, while you're driving, this definitely has that GT feel to it. So if you are into longer trips, longer drives, the seats are ergonomic enough for you to relax and keep yourself attentive on the road. This steering wheel though is only adjustable for rake and does not have any telescopic features, just up and down. That's fine. It does have power seats though, so you can definitely control and optimize your seating position for your optimal driving position. So that's okay. I just wish it had some sort of telescopic function on the steering wheel to make it a lot easier. All right, so that's pretty much everything that we need to know about the interior of the MG GT. Oh, by the way, it's got 6 speakers, so it does have a nice sound system. Unfortunately, if you move out, if you have the volume too loud, the people outside can hear the music that you're listening to. So if you're one of those people who like to put their phone on loudspeaker, the MRT, this is your car. They can definitely hear the volume from the outside. Good sound. Could probably use a little bit more bass in the mids, but it's okay. All right, so let's head on over to the rear and let's see how that works out for someone of my size and my height. All right, so we're here at the second row of the MG GT Sport, and as you can see, there's not a lot of headroom to talk about because of the sharply raking design of the rear end here, giving you that fast back. Yeah, I could definitely just recline easily to have that headroom, but my head is still hitting the ceiling here. I'm 5'10.5", and I've got a longer torso, but this is definitely not going to be the place for me. You got a lot of leg room here though. You got room for your knees and your feet, and it's wide enough to fit at least, well, I'm at the maximum 3 of myself right here in the back. But again, the headroom situation is a problem for me. You got a solitary AC vent and a single USB port right there in the middle. You do have this light right here next to the grab handles. Yeah, it's comfortable. It's definitely something that a lot of people will appreciate in the back, but again, for my particular size, this is not going to be this is quite a squeeze, especially right here on the for the headroom. Okay, that's all she wrote about the back. Let's take us out for a spin and see how the MG GT Sport performs. MG has been touting the performance of this vehicle, and we'll see about that. All right, so now we're behind the wheel of the MG GT Sport. And I understand why a lot of people have been raving a lot about this car, this particular model, because of the NVH levels. I mean, right here, I'm going to talk about the NVH levels even before the engine, because that's the first thing that I noticed. The suspension feels great. It's solid. At high speed, sure, you can hear the intake sound from the engine, but being a sporty, compact sedan, I am actually looking for a lot more of that exhaust note or intake sound, but it's very comfortable inside. That's one thing. See, even going through those rumble strips, you can barely hear it, and it's nice. Right, so under the hood, you've got a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine that makes 169 horsepower and 250 newton meters of torque. It's mated to a 7-speed dual clutch, or should I say twin clutch transmission, and puts the power to the front wheels. 0 to 100 times, well, MG's rated that to be a hair above 8 seconds, 8.5 seconds to be exact. And there is a feature right here on the multi-information display ahead of the gauges here where you can actually test that. So heading over to the menu settings here, and yes, the best record is 8.5 seconds. Should we test that? Nah, we're in the city. The transmission is a little bit jerky, especially in this stop and go traffic. And it's not the smoothest, it's not the most refined, but it certainly is better than a lot of the dual clutch transmissions in the market. So put into sport mode now, and there you go. You can actually feel the engine characteristics change. The acceleration, the accelerator pedal actually is more responsive, and it feels like it could definitely go a little faster. All right, so we're gonna do a little acceleration pull right here. Okay, the engine sound definitely is helpful, and we're going now, and you can see my background disappearing. The power delivery is certainly still linear in nature, but again, if hitting to sports mode, you can get there quite quickly. Talking about suspension, you've got your standard McPherson struts up front and a torsion bar rear suspension back there. Going through corners, it's still able to keep the vehicle as pliant as possible. How does fuel economy do in city traffic? It's all right, actually. It does around 8 to 9 kilometers per liter in city traffic, and that's quite impressive, especially for a sporty sedan such as this one. Let's talk about safety features on this car. You got your standard airbags, multiple airbags. You got ABS, it's anti-lock brakes with electronic brake force distribution. You even have stability control and vehicle control assist. It even has some advanced safety features as well. You've got lane keep assist, you've got forward collision mitigation system. You even have a 360-degree camera inside here with proximity sensors, and that's amazing. And the lane keep assist system, by the way, you can deactivate that, or you can change the sensitivity of the lane departure warning system. That's fine. You can control the stability control. You can make it as soft or as aggressive as you can. My only problem though is that everything that you need to control is inside this touchscreen infotainment system. So it's you're gonna have to access them. Make sure that you're in park. Make sure that you stop. So you can just go ahead and control that right here. So pricing for the MG GT starts at 1,015,888 pesos, but that's for the MG GT Alpha. That's the lower variant of this one. But this one, the one we're testing today, is the MG GT Sport. And that's available at 1,193,888 pesos. This one has the turbocharger. This one has the active extra safety features, and of course, well, basically you're buying this for the turbocharger and the extra performance. At this price range, what other cars, sedans particularly, can offer that much performance, this much safety, this much convenience features inside at that price range? That list is not going to be a lot. So that's our thoughts about the MG GT Sports, but what do you think? Drop us a comment in the comment section down below, and while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification icon so you wouldn't miss any of our videos. Boy, do we have a lot of reviews upcoming and features as well, and you wouldn't want to miss that. So go ahead and subscribe, and I'll meet you in the comment section below. Thanks so much for watching. This is Roy Robles from Zigwheels.Ph, and I'll see you guys next time.